Hello and welcome to Anime Only, where fans can come to talk about the anime adaptations of popular manga. This series will cover the whole of One Piece. My name is Brandon, and I'll be your navigator as we endure these treacherous waters. We begin episode 3 in the same spot that we ended in the last episode, with Luffy getting shot by Morgan's men and bouncing the bullets back, laughing like it tickled. Luffy shows Zoro he did indeed retrieve the weapons he said he would in the previous episode, and Zoro promises Luffy to be his pirate if he is just going to die here instead. Luffy is really excited to hear this and starts dancing around while Zoro yells at him to untie the ropes. As Luffy attempts to untie him, we zoom over to Morgan, who is standing dumbstruck behind his men, monologuing on how Straw Hat must have eaten a rumored devil fruit. As a side note, this is the first time we hear anyone call Luffy Straw Hat, and it feels kind of weird. Why not call him Red Shirt, or Scarface, or Sandals? It seems a little contrived. But of course, that might just be in hindsight. If anybody has just watched this for the first time, does it seem forced for first-time viewers, or does it work? Sound off in the comments, and while you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button for more stupid questions like this from me. Morgan, continuing his monologue, explains that devil fruits can grant great powers, like breathing fire and causing tsunamis. He states that almost nothing is known about them, but their secrets lie deep within the Grand Line, a strip of ocean that cuts across the world's equator, which has turned into a battlefield since Gold Roger announced his treasure, the One Piece, was hidden there, and is now known as a pirate graveyard. Morgan then orders his men to attack, saying if guns won't work, to use their swords. Zoro, at Luffy's frantic attempt to untie him, yells, "Just give me a damn sword!" Which we can assume he does off screen, because the next we see is Zoro blocking the attacks of the rushing soldiers, with all 3 swords, curiously holding one of them between his teeth. Morgan, a veritable fountain of information at this point, gives us Zoro's full name, Roronoa Zoro, which does roll right off the tongue. As Zoro blocks the blades from the Marines, he promises Luffy to join him as a pirate, but he will be following his own goal, to be the world's greatest swordsman, and to spread his his name across the world, and states if he has to give that up, then Luffy has to accept responsibility and apologize. Which, I mean, is a surprisingly realistic thing to say. He's not grandstanding with, if I have to give it up, I'll kill you, or something. Just apologize to me and take responsibility. Very mature, and I like it. And Luffy is more than happy to hear this, saying that the King of the Pirates would need nothing less than the best on his crew, which does become questionable later, but we'll get there. We get another of Luffy's Rubber Boy attacks with the Gum Gum Whip, which is a sweeping kick stretched out to AoE a small group, which he uses to great effect to clear the group stuck on Zoro's blades. Morgan's men lose morale and say they can't even beat Zoro. How are they going to beat Zoro plus a devil fruit eater? To which Morgan responds by telling all the men who just said that to off themselves for their own weakness. And I love this part because they look at him and they give him this look like, screw you, buddy, and I love it. Luffy seems to take Morgan's suggestion personal and bum rushes Morgan and is beating the crap out of him when Helmeppo shows up with Kobe at gunpoint. After Luffy stops tenderizing Morgan, Kobe tells him he doesn't want to get in Luffy's way, even if that means dying. And Luffy then smiles and attacks Helmeppo. At the same time, Morgan attacks Luffy from behind. Zoro intervenes and cuts Morgan down. At the same time, Luffy flattens Helmeppo. Zoro tries to goad the rest of the Marines, but they are ecstatic at Morgan's defeat. They throw their weapons into the air and... Wait, these idiots throw their swords into the air like hats at a graduation. And this is Kobe's dream, huh? Well, it doesn't show anybody dying from it, so I guess it's fine. After the adrenaline runs dry, Zoro collapses since he hasn't eaten in 3 weeks, except those sugary rice balls. Jarringly, here we get another small snippet of our mysterious red-headed thief. She is seen tying up 2 Marines and breaking into an office, and then a safe that is in that office. She becomes really excited when she sees what she thinks is a map of the Grand Line, only to find out it's a note from someone named Buggy the Immortal, who had stolen it before she got there. After all the excitement, we rejoin our heroes being treated to a meal from the little girl who Zoro got captured for and her mother. Here, Luffy tells Zoro that he's the only member he has so far and shows Zoro his ship, to which Zoro gives a burst of uncomfortable laughter. After lamenting his choice in captain, Zoro relents and accepts things for what they are. During their conversation, the Navy shows up and tells them that they need to leave now that they know that they're pirates. To which the citizenry are all appalled, seeing as how they just saved the entire city from the corrupt Captain Axehand Morgan. To show the Marines Kobe was not a pirate, Luffy picks a fight with him, and after hitting him a few times, Zoro pulls him off and they leave, leaving Kobe free to join the Marines without being associated with pirates. As Luffy and Zoro get ready to set off, Kobe, followed by the rest of the Marines, are treated to a salute in gratitude for their heroic deeds. And as our boys, Luffy and Zoro, head out to sea, we are left with a feeling of the beginning of a great adventure. And that was episode 3 of the anime adaptation of One Piece. This episode does a couple of important things. First, it tells us about Zoro and the kind of code he lives by, being a man of his word and a strong fighter. It gives us a bit of insight with Luffy as well, because he implies when he gives Zoro his swords that if Zoro didn't join him, he would have left him there on the cross to die. So calling him a hero might be overstating it a little. And most importantly, in my opinion, the Grand Line, which is being built up as this crazy, dangerous, almost other world where pirates are fighting all the time to find the One Piece. And speaking of that, it seems our redhead is also after the One Piece, since she was here to steal a map of the Grand Line. I feel like she'll be important later. We'll have to keep our eye on her. And with that, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this episode and or this video on said episode. I am slowly adapting and creating my own style for these videos, and I want to thank my first 3 subscribers and anyone who watches for dealing with my unexperienced antics. I will continue to learn and improve so you, the viewer, can enjoy One Piece in your own way, whether it's the anime, the manga, or just watching videos like mine, or better ones like Grand Line Review talking about it. Hope to see you in the next one.